In today's show, I'm going to talk what went on at JudoCon 2018. We had a lot of great stuff going on, from coaching clinics to really good skill technique clinics. So, hey, stay tuned. You'll see what went on. Hey everybody, I'm Steve Scott, and thanks so much for tuning in to another episode of Freestyle Judo. Well, this issue is devoted to the JudoCon 2018 that just took place here in the Kansas City area, November 2nd and 3rd, and it was a great event. We had over 60 people coming from 12 different states to attend, okay, and these were serious judo people that wanted to find out more about coaching and technical skill work, and also to spread their ideas of teach others as well. So it was a great networking time. It was just a great judo weekend, and I must say, I'm going to brag about it, but I don't know of any other group anywhere that has an event like this or has ever had an event like this. It was a multi-purpose thing. It wasn't just some famous judo person showing up and doing a clinic or series of clinics. We had a variety of topics covering a variety of things, all designed to grow judo in the United States. So we're going to talk about that today, a lot of the things that went on. But first of all, I just want to give you a little taste of what it looked like. So I've got a little short 2-minute video here, just some interviews of people who were at the JudoCon and why they were there. So here we go.
Hi, this is Derek Darling here at Welcome At Training Center, and we are hosting the second annual JudoCon conference. I'm here with all these lovely people trying to help grow the sport of judo and to share our knowledge. Everybody has something that we can learn from, and that's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to bring everybody together in a nice community type of environment where we can all learn more, where we can all share ideas on growing the sport of judo.
John King. My name's John King. I'm with Wall to Wall Martial Arts in Watson, Louisiana, and we're here at JudoCon today to learn more and exchange great ideas about coaching and growing judo in our local communities.
Hi, I'm Mike Penny. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm here to learn how to do things better and give more ideas for handling my students. That's it. You're done.
Hey, Tyrus Cox, Austin, Texas. I'm out here to become a better judoka, learn how to run a more successful program, and just feel the energy and the love from fellow judokas.
Good. Hi guys, I'm Caitlin Wall from Wall to Wall Martial Arts. My goal in life is to try to spread judo a little more through the United States, and so I came here in an effort to try and help other instructors learn some new things to help build their program and make it successful, as well as learn some new things from other instructors myself to build my program even more.
Hey everybody, how are you? I'm Lester Martel from High Impact Martial Arts. I'm over here at JudoCon, having a great time, learning a lot from a lot of my fellow judoka. Really love this event. Hope we can have another one next year and more people to come. So guys, come on down. You're going to learn a lot. You're going to have a great time and share with a lot of your other fellow judoka, okay?
I'm Josh Lehman. I'm with Jefferson City Judo Club, and I am here to grow judo.
All right, that was just a short sampling of why people were there. In fact, I just asked for volunteers. It was Anne Marie DeMar's idea to do this, which is a great idea. Was to say, anybody want to just tell people why you're here, who you are, and where you're from, and just let the word know why let everyone know why you're here. And I think it was a great idea. So we'll have another few of those interviews a little later in the show, but so stay tuned from that. Anyway, the first video we're going to do was on coaching, and it was. By the way, we had a lot. I mean, we had a jam-packed thing. It was jam-packed the whole weekend. In fact, before I get to the video here, let's talk about what actually went on. I mean, if you missed this, you missed a big one. This was great. So day one, here's what went on. So stay tuned. Day one, we opened the morning session. It was on Friday. We opened the morning session with a Juji Gatame clinic with leading off with Anne Marie DeMars, 1984 World Judo Champion, good person to lead off with. Myself and also Derek Darling. And we know a few things about Juji Gatame, by the way, so we all three of us combined. The focus here was on transitions to ground fighting. transitions to Juji Gatame specifically, I should say. So we had a really good session on that, well attended by a lot of people, and they got a lot out of us. Great fun and great coaching with Anne Maria, by the way, and of course with Derek always. Now the second thing we did after a little bit of a break, we came back and James and Caitlin Wall did a fantastic session on mat games and how they use mat games and judo games, different types of drills that just fit directly in with teaching judo and relevant to what they're doing that particular evening in practice or whatever. So it was just a lot of great. I learned a lot from that mat games session. I wrote a book on this stuff one time, and I learned a lot more from the Walls. So I was very glad they did that. It was very informative, and their whole thing is it's not a sin to make judo fun, especially for kids. We don't mean silly fun. We mean enjoyable. And the methodology they were using, I can see why they've got one of the largest judo schools in the United States. So that was a great session on mat games. Then we shifted gears and we went back with Anne Maria DeMars. As you know, she's a PhD, and she's had extensive experience in different number of fields of education. But she had a real good talk on effective coaching with different groups of people. And because we all have this problem in every judo club in the United States, I mean, probably in the world, you have different groups of people, different ages, different sizes, different backgrounds, different motivations for being there. So she talked about that, and she did a lot of active drills, and it wasn't just a lecture; it was really, a practice session, just like the James and Caitlin did their mat games. We all played them; it was a lot of fun, and Anne Maria did a lot of good drills that she has used over the years to effectively train her athletes. And she's coached a number of great athletes, but she's, like she said, and you'll see the video coming up a little later, she is very proud of all the other kids who just went on to have successful lives. So that was a great session, by the way. Then we got back on the mat again. We took a little break, came back, and Derek Darling and I did a session on teaching Uchimata effectively. And it was a good long session. We had a good group of guys and gals turn out for it, and it was a good back and forth of exchange of ideas. But we talked about how to lay foundations for teaching Uchimata effectively. And it's a big throw. It's one of the large throws of judo, like Osotogari and Soenagi, foot sweeps, things like that. So it's one of those important things I think we need to teach correctly, and we talked about how to teach it correctly right from the start. So we did a thing on Uchimata too. Then as round out the day, as it was coming to an end, we had an expert, and she said, I'm not an expert, but I am knowledgeable in this field. Patricia McGee, who is Derek's mother-in-law, but she's on staff at Pittsburgh State University here in the state of Kansas, and she talked with us and had a great informative session on ADD and special needs students and how to identify that in not just kids, but adults in your program. So it was a great learning experience for all of us, and I wish we could have had a little more time with her, but fact is we were so scheduled so tight, but she had a good solid hour of information for us, which was fabulous, and some people have requested something like this, and this fit the bill, so she did a great job, and I'm glad we had her part of our program. It really did help us as professionals in teaching judo and other martial arts as well. Helps us understand our students better. So, again, great stuff. So we took a bit of a break then, but then we came back on the mat, at least most of us did, and Derek Darling and Mike Pennington and Eric Weaver, three of my really good athletes, you see them on all our videos, all the time, they did a fabulous session on leg locks. We say leg locks at a judo seminar or a JudoCon? Yes, because we had a lot of people asking for leg locks before this happened, and we said, we can put together, I think we know a little bit about leg locks. I think we can put together a good program for you, and those guys did. They had a fabulous program, and a good number of folks were there, so I am really pleased to see that there were a lot of people in judo who were interested in expanding their base of knowledge into the areas of lower body submissions, and it was a great clinic. Well, that was just day one, okay? So we're all real tired. We go home and we sleep. We get up early the next morning on Saturday. Starts off with a bang. I'll tell you, James Wall did one of the most professional and thorough presentations of successful dojo management and how to run a commercial school I've ever seen. It's just one of the best. But that's what he did, a successful dojo management. And his focus was you don't have to give up quality to run a successful commercial dojo or any dojo. He talked about not just commercial dojos, but how to have community-based programs and other things like I've done for years in my parks and recreation system. He's taken a lot of those things and he's in the commercial areas, and it's not just a McDojo like they call them. It was just a great, about 2 hours. I wish we could have had him there for 8. He could have taught us more. And it was a good PowerPoint presentation, and we learned a lot. I mean, we learned a lot. So if there's anybody that knows how to do it, it's James. He had, at the time of the presentation, he had 203 registered, paid-up, attending students every month that come to his dojo. And his emphasis is judo. He does BJJ, he does self-defense, he does other things as well, but his main thing is judo. And I think that may be the largest commercial judo school in the United States. And if anybody would want to know how to make it run well, it's that guy, James Wall, and he did a great job. By the way, Patty Wall, who is his co-partner in the business as well as being married, she was also on hand, and I don't want to neglect what she did. She had a lot because she's more the bookkeeper in the process, and she had a great input on how to track your students and how to keep track of the business end of it. It was just fabulous. So successful dojo management. And I'll tell you, any of you out there who are interested in contacting him, we'll flash his information up here so you can get a hold of him, email him, because you need to listen to this guy. It was a great session. Okay, we took a slight break, not much. We kind of blended right in. And then Lester Martell from New Jersey, who has a very successful program in his area, talked about, and in fact, doesn't talk about, he showed, he had a great, again, PowerPoint presentation on how to use the internet and to his advantage, to your advantage, in tracking students, getting students, and using the technology we have today to our advantage as coaches. And I learned so much from this guy. I mean, I'm like I always tell Derek, who's an IT guy, I may know a lot about judo and sambo and jiu-jitsu, and I may be a black belt in that, but I'm pretty much, maybe I'm up to a green belt in internet technology stuff and all this high-techy stuff. But Lester sure gave me some more knowledge, and everyone else there too. So it was a great session on using the internet and the different tools we have, the different social media to connect and track people to teach better, basically. So then it blended right into a great session by Anne Maria DeMars on getting judo in schools. And she has a very successful program out in the Los Angeles area at Gomper School, and she talked a while about really good management of who to talk to, how to get judo in the schools, how to keep kids motivated. So judo in a school setting. So we had a nice offset there. We talked about judo commercially in commercial settings, and now on the other aspect of it, we had judo in the schools, and that was really a great program. So I'm glad she was there, and she lended a lot of expertise to that area. It was good to know all that stuff. Then we blended right into it. This was all in the morning, Saturday morning. We're just putting one thing right after the other. We started early and we just went right at it. Then we had Scott Decker and James Wall come on, and they kind of co-hosted a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, and also a short discussion period on our AAU coach education program. And Scott did a tremendous job on that. We're going to show a video of some of these things. We're going to be showing videos about momentarily here. But Scott did a great job on explaining the basics of our AAU coach education program, how we, in AAU and Judo Black Belt Association working together, okay, and how we coordinate with each other to have a well-rounded program of education for our coaches. James Wall also had, and we're going to have a separate video, just a short one on him, about how all of the existing things that are out there already that we're using and are going to launch very soon, in fact, right now probably, on coach education for our AAU and Judo Black Belt Association coach education program. So these guys explained it, what it was about. The video I have here a little later doesn't do justice to us because it was in a darkened room, and I was the cameraman. I didn't do a good job doing the video, so please bear with me on that. But nonetheless, it was a great presentation, and we'll have more and more about that on our Facebook platforms and our YouTube pages, our YouTube channels, everything like that. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so then we managed to take a quick break, get something to eat a little later afternoon. Then John Saylor came on, and he did a great clinic. He always does. John Saylor is, to me, one of the best technicians that ever came out of the United States in judo. And if you don't know who he was a U.S. heavyweight champion, a judo champion, national champion, medaled in the Pan American Championships and fought internationally, medaled in that often. He was the Olympic Training Center coach for many years out at Colorado Springs. And now he's the director of the Shingitai Jujitsu Association. He has co-authored with me several books. The guy really knows what he's talking about. And his first session of the day was on gripping and grip strategies and molding your grips to your throws. He said, your throws and your grips should be worked together. And he taught how to do that. It was a great clinic on that. And then we had a really short break, and then we came back, and then he did another session, another separate clinic on ground fighting, on very functional, effective ground fighting. He covered the pins, breakdowns and turns to pins, chokes, and arm locks. So it was a very complete day. So that was what went on for 2 days, and I hardly got any sleep. I don't think anybody else got much sleep either, but boy, I'll tell you what. And then we followed that. After that, we went home, we took a shower, we came back. Kansas City, here in Kansas City, we're proud of our barbecue. It's a big cattle town for many years, and we still have, I think I'm a barbecue snob, but we have the best barbecue in the world. I'm sure somebody in Texas or the Carolinas may disagree, but we had some great barbecue. So anyway, that being said, we went out to a local barbecue place and had a lot of fun that evening, and sat around, talked old times, and told stories we can't repeat in public. So it was a lot of fun. By the way, all during that time, we had a pretty good sized mat. We worked in 2 people being promoted in judo rank and 1 working on a promotion, and we'll follow up on it. So we had we got a lot of business done at JudoCon 2018. Like I said, it was a unique event, and no one else has, to my knowledge, has ever done it, except for Scott Decker. Scott Decker did it in 2014. It was his idea. And Scott Decker, thanks to you so much for coming up with this fabulous idea back in 2014. It was about this time of year in November, and it was out in Chandler, Arizona, a suburb of Phoenix, where he lives. And we had a same type of format. We had different stuff. We talked about different things, and we had techniques clinic. We had, at that time, we also did some judo refereeing stuff. So it was a great time there. And 4 years later, we got our stuff together. We said, let's have another JudoCon. And we hope to make it every year. If we don't, we're going to try to get it as often as we can. So this was JudoCon 18. It was second in the series, and we hope to have more. So much for that. But let's go on now. Again, speaking of JudoCon, let's talk about, let's just show the videos of what we actually did. Okay, the first one here is Anne-Marie DeMars, and I just had to I'd be very selective because there was so much information, and I got a lot of videos of it, by the way. So if you want to check our YouTube channel, check our platforms on Facebook, we're going to be showing those a lot. We already started showing some of the videos on Facebook. So, but be sure to keep tuning in because we're going to try to get all the information out there as much as possible. But anyway, Anne-Marie DeMars did a great clinic or a great session on, and the title of this is "A Great Coach Figures Out What's Best for You." And she is so right. So without further ado, this is about a 3-minute, 55-second video of her opening remarks and her session in how to coach judo effectively. So here we go with Dr. DeMars.
A good coach teaches somebody the things that they know. They know their sport. They could teach the techniques that they did well. And I was at a tournament once for the junior nationals, and Ronnie was going to fight this girl, and I said, she's going to come out, she's going to bow in, she's going to go in right away for Ojigari. When she does, you turn and barely reflect Uchimata. So it goes exactly like that. Ronnie comes out, she goes, wow, man, Mom, you must have watched that girl fight 100 times. I said, I've never seen that girl before in my life. But I know the club she comes from, and everybody in that club comes in, they bow in, and they're a good club, and they won a lot. But what a great coach does is they figure out what's best for you. And for some kid, that's being trained to go to the Olympics. And I will tell you, your video, and I won't put the name of it, but the kid I am most proudest of in judo. She started my preschool class, and my little Julie says to her, she can't talk. I said, yes, she can talk. No, she can't talk. This girl was so shy, she never said a word. She was probably in that class for 2 years before she ever said a word. And if you came in there after she'd been in judo for 5 years, she was 9 years old, you could have picked out which kid she was. She was just a little kid in there doing judo with the other kids. So maybe that's the goal for that kid. I know a really, really good baseball coach. He teaches youth baseball. And he was a really good college baseball player himself. And at the beginning of every season, he sits down and he talks to each student, each player, and asks them what's their goal for the season, individually with no one else around. And he said, some of those kids' goal is to get a hit. They have never hit the ball. They have missed every time they've been up at bat. So for some kids, their goal is to win the state championships, or they just want to be part of a team with other kids and get the jacket that the other kids have and be part of that group. That's okay. They're not less than other kids. I know plenty of kids now that I'm old who didn't make the junior world team and are physicians now, you know, with Doctors Without Borders saving lives, or they're married and they're a great father, or so that's okay. And I think a big mistake we make is acting like this kid is a winner. You know, I've been coaching judo. I started coaching judo when I was a teenager because I was broke, and that's how I paid for my judo lessons. So I've been coaching judo for 47 years. And my daughter Rhonda went to 2 Olympics, and I've had a few students go to nationals and win national medals, and I've coached thousands of students. If those few students were my successes and the other 4,897 students were failures, I would be really, really depressed. But yeah, we act like that. You know, every kid counts, and I have 4 kids. And to me, every kid that walks on the mat is somebody's baby. You know, even if they're 25 years old, they were somebody's baby. They want, you know, they deserve just as much attention and time as that kid that's going to the Olympics. Because they may be the kid that comes back and teaches judo here, and that kid's going to the Olympics may just walk off and take whatever you gave him and you never see him again. So I think we have to really, really internalize that every person that steps on the mat matters. So that's when I do these drills, I'm trying to keep in mind not just how am I going to push you, but also what's he going to get out of it and what's she going to do out of it, and get in a way that everybody leaves practice feeling like they got a good workout and they were part of something important. And that's the other thing too, if you're the person that wins, I expect you when you come back to come into the dojo and thank everybody in the dojo. I mean, when Rhonda would come back from like some international tournament, she would stand up in front of practice and thank everybody there for helping her get ready. So yeah, that's all I know about judo.
Okay, I can't add to that. But by the way, we have more on video on her doing that, and she had a lot of active drills. The session was fabulous on how to get the most out of the people on the mat where you are. Like Teddy Roosevelt said, do the best you can with what you got where you are. I think that would have been a good theme of what Anne Maria was talking about there. It was great stuff. The next clip here we're going to show is Scott Decker, and he's explaining the coach education program. And it's just kind of the basics of it. And we're very, very pleased. In fact, we're just downright excited in our judo program to be part of the AAU because they have so many forward-thinking things that they do. And one of them is the Positive Coaching Alliance. And if you want to join as a coach, and by the way, if you want to join as a non-athlete member, that's a coaching or a referee, you know, you can take for free the Positive Coaching Alliance program. You could take it's a very extensive one actually if you want to how far you want to go with it, but it's a good generic program to teach how to teach better, how to coach better, how to work with people better. It is fabulous. So we use that as our basis for our coach education program in judo. And Scott Decker talks about that quite a bit, and I'll just let him say it now. Let's go ahead, about a 2-minute video. Again, short, we had to cut off what he had because there was so much he had to say, but it's about 2 minutes here of Scott Decker talking about AAU coaching program.
You know, who here has their current AAU membership? Show of hands, everybody. Okay, now I want you to keep your hands up. Who here has your first aid or CPR certification? And who here has taken the Positive Coaches Alliance? Okay. Everybody who still had their hand up at the end, you guys have passed the coach qualification here at the conference. Congratulations. Good job, guys. If you lowered your hand, you know what you need to do when you get here. First thing, you need to get an AAU membership. It's so freaking easy. It's cheap. We've already hashed that out. You need to be CPR and first aid certified. That's the primary reason I'm on the mat. It's not, especially me. I'm the worst guy in here. My judo's horrible. I'm there to maintain the safety in the classroom. And finally, how we treat these people, these golden nuggets. You have to take this PCA course every year. You renew your AAU membership, and then you go, and it's a worthwhile course that you can't just breeze through it. Right? You're going to have to sit down and do it. But it's so easy to get really good information, convenient. Now, like I said, you're not going to be able to just breeze through it in an hour. They do things to make sure you stay on task and you're paying attention, and they quiz you at each moment. So you can't be diverted attention. You have to give your attention to this. But what you'll learn from this, you just need to know.
And it's free, guys. That's our thing. It's totally, if you're an AAU member, PCA course is free.
It's free. And this is the minimum standard. You have to have your AAU membership. You have to get CPR and basic first aid certified. And you have to, at the very least, do the Positive Coaching Alliance training. Right? These are the details that we go, oh man, I'll do that later. I don't really have time. I don't know. I want to do the cool. I want to do the Uchimatas, whatever. These are the basics that we have to do if we're going to be a professional in this business. Just do it.
Again, I think you got the gist of what Scott was talking about there. We're very happy to be involved with AAU, and we look at it this way. If you teach judo, be a professional. Okay, whether you get any money for it or not, be a professional. Act like one. Come across as one. I'm not talking about a snooty, snobby guy. I'm talking about a professional in your field of what you're doing. And I think Scott really hit home with that. He did a great job. He's had a good background in striking arts, Kempo, Muay Thai, kickboxing. And he came to judo, like you said, after the age of 40, and he's trained with me a lot and with James Wall as well. And like he said, he's not that good at judo. He is actually really good at judo, but his background is in other martial arts. So he's one of the guys I recruited. I love him because he brought in a whole fresh look at how to do things from another perspective, not just from a judo perspective, which I think we might need in the sport of judo. Don't you? At least I think so. Anyway, hey, let's get to a second clip, just a little over 2 minutes, of some more people who volunteered to come on camera and tell me who they were, where they were from, and why they were at JudoCon. So here we go.
Hi, I'm Scott Decker. I'm from Arizona Freestyle Judo. I'm a lifelong martial artist, but I'm a new convert to judo because this is the most exciting thing that I think is happening in martial arts right now. It's certainly the most innovative thing that's happening in judo. Really, freestyle judo is making judo accessible to everyone. And that's why I'm here, because I'm over 40 and took up judo, and I'm really liking it. I'm enjoying it, so I wasn't going to miss it.
Hey, this is James Wall from Wall to Wall Martial Arts in Watson, Louisiana. Came to JudoCon 2018 here in Kansas City because I'm deeply concerned about the current state of judo in our country. We have had some level of success growing our school, and I came to try to share anything I might be able to share with anyone who might want to try to learn and improve, and also I'm hoping to learn new stuff myself to continue improving and getting better.
Anne Maria DeMars, Santa Monica, California, and Santiago, Chile. I am here on behalf of 7 Generation Games and Strong Mind Studios to talk about improving after-school programs, improving recreational programs for youth, and how we can include judo in programs for the whole child, including education.
Hello, my name is Nick DeZona. I'm from Nebraska BJJ. We recently started a kids judo program, and I came here to learn how to teach kids because I haven't done a great job without any help. Thank you for having me.
I'm Matt McCormick. I'm from Lawrence, Kansas, and I'm here because I enjoy supporting judo any way that I can.
Chuck Kurz. I'm the coach at Glory Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, and I came here to find out how to grow the program more. Is that good?
That's good.
Hi, my name is Dave Roman. I'm from Tampa Bay, Florida. I came to JudoCon because I wanted to be on the mat with some excellent judoka and be part of a movement that is really exciting, growing, and very much what I think the future of judo is. So I'm very happy to be here. It's my pleasure. Thanks, Steve.
And as you saw there, one of those people was Judo Dave Roman. And Dave came and he's a really good judo player. I mean, good skills, and it was so good to meet him in person. I've talked with him. I've been interviewed by him. We've chatted quite a bit on, Facebook and everything. But it was good to meet him in person. And we're going to have a real short clip about his great podcast right now coming up about Judo Chop Suey, which I think everybody should listen to on a regular basis. So here's a video with Judo Dave Roman on Judo Chop Suey podcast. Hey everybody, Steve Scott here, and I got Dave Roman, who does the best podcast in the business here, Judo Chop Suey. So I want to give him a shout out. He's a great guy. He's totally supportive of our AAU judo program and freestyle judo. So, hey Dave, glad to have you. And tell people about your podcast.
Well, I do a podcast. It's a judo-centric podcast. I might talk about other grappling subjects, but it's specifically judo-centric because I cover a lot of events, what's going on with the IJF, and I also cover a lot of what's going on with AAU judo, and I'm very excited about that. I'm very excited to be a part of that, Steve.
The more people find out about judo, the more they'll like it and the more they want to do it. So Dave's doing a great job. We are too. We're trying to get judo to grow in the United States. So we hope more people sign up for judo or get back into judo. So thanks so much, Dave, for showing up to JudoCon.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome.
Okay. All right. I wish I had his speaking voice. Boy, he's good. But there you go. So Judo Chop Suey, it's a podcast. Get to it. Listen often. He has a lot of great information, a lot of great subjects there. And it's a wide variety of stuff, from IJF World Championships, training. He talks about BJJ. He talks about a lot of stuff. So anyway, Judo Chop Suey. All right, this next clip kind of blended in. Like I said, it's James Wall, and he blended right in with what Scott Decker was talking about coach education. I'm a firm believer in coach education. Here's a real quick history. Back in 1985, I was a very young coach. Not very young, I was in my 30s, but I was a young, for a coach, serious about it. One of my mentors, Bruce Toops, who is one of the greats, all-time greats of American Judo of Atlanta, Georgia, he was the director of development for U.S. Judo at the time, U.S. Judo Incorporated, which is now USA Judo. And I was one of the coaches he was developing and bringing up in the system. And he wanted me to do two things, start a coach education program because of my passion for it, and also eventually working into, and I did, become the junior national director for the under-21 squad, the junior program, ages 12 to 20, bringing those guys up and developing great champions at that level. So I did both those for Bruce, and he taught me a lot. And I'm a firm believer in coach education. And back in '85, we put together the first actual program that was ever done, to my knowledge, by a governing body anyway, on, I think the USJA, maybe the USJF had something going at the same time or earlier. I'm sure they did actually. But for the governing body, we put together a really good comprehensive program. And then politics things happened and I drifted away from my involvement with that group. When we started the AAU judo program, it was one of our passions to have a very good working coach education program, not just go through a clinic so you could get a pass to coach on the floor of the nationals, not just go toward points toward a promotion or to have a certificate on your wall. An actual coach education, ongoing studies program, and that's the basis of what we've got here. And so, and I know Scott Decker and I know James Wall real well, and I said, guys, can you put together such a program? You're great organizers, and you're really good at judo, and you know how to teach. Can you put this together? And of course, I worked with them a bit, gave them some ideas, but they came up with all this was on their own. Great stuff. So James Wall is going to talk just briefly, and again, I don't have enough time to give to him because the video quality is my fault. The video quality is quite poor. I put together the best I could what we did right there. So it's about a 2-minute clip of James Wall talking. And I want to say something here. If this is offensive to you, too bad what he's going to say. I'm sorry to be harsh, but he says, be part of the solution. Shut up and do something, okay? You're part of the solution or you're part of the problem. And we get on there and we see so many people talk on Facebook and, oh, this, that, bad stuff, this, that. They gripe about stuff, but they're not doing anything about it. Well, you know what? It's time to stop that stuff and let's do something about it. That's what James is kind of talking about here. So part of it is learning to be a better coach, more professional coach, use the tools that are accessible and more tools that are coming along. So anyway, here's James Wall on that.
These are some of the resources we've got for you so far. There's a JBEA handbook, which also has the freestyle rules in it. They've got a great Freestyle Judo Welcome Mat YouTube channel, lots of instructional videos. The JBBA Coach Education channel I just showed you. Streaming video is a powerful resource that we need to utilize. I have a monitor with a webcam right beside my mat. I can put my laptop there and I can do a Skype video call to anybody that's got internet. And I can show you something, teach you something, answer questions, whatever you need to know. You guys can do the same thing. If you want to share some information, let us know. We'll set it up on November 15th at 5 p.m. Jim is going to do a 1-hour video session on blank, whatever Jim is really good at. Okay. PCA and Red Cross online courses, I'm going to have Scott talk about for a second. Those are very, really good. And then we put together some instructor and coach level seminar outlines that if Steve feels that you are qualified at the coach level and someone who's qualified to go out and teach others at that level, but you've never done it before, I have an outline that I've used for a decade. I've updated it over the years. You can take it. Feel free to delete and add in. It doesn't matter what techniques you teach. It's not that. It's about teaching them to be better teachers, teaching them to grow their programs, things like that. So maybe I've got Osoto Garvey and Ogoshi, keep on saying Handi. Maybe you want to do Harai Goshi and Handi Goshi and Sirikuni Goshi. I don't care. It's not about that. It's really not. Okay? It's about teaching them to be better instructors. Closing here, ultimately, guys, this is up to us. We can all sit around and wait for everybody else to fix this, or we can get off our butts and we can do something about it. That's my challenge to you. Stop complaining. Stop saying what everybody else is doing wrong. Stop complaining about the organization. Stop complaining about the IJF. Just shut up and do something. Fix it. I told you, I'm brutally honest. I got no time for BS. Just do it or shut up and get out of the way. Quite frankly, that's the way I feel about it. I know you're busy. We're all busy, guys. We're all busy. You're part of the solution or you're part of the problem.
Okay, I can't anything. I totally agree with James. Either you're part of the problem or you're part of the solution, okay? And I want to be part of the solution. And there are other judo organizations doing great things, don't get me wrong. But we are trying to provide a continuing education program. And if you want to know more about it, I'll flash James's information up here and Scott's information up here, at least their email addresses. Contact them. These guys are spearheading our coach education program, and it is dynamite. It really is. In my own experience, there are a lot of coaches, there are a lot of judo coaches. There are fewer and fewer as we go on in years. Not as many people are teaching judo anymore, but of the judo coaches we'll probably get 10 to 20% that will actually be involved in a coach education program. That's generally across the board, probably for any organization. And we're trying to get more of you who are teaching judo out there, because AAU provides great infrastructure. Number one, with all the benefits, insurance, everything else, club memberships, it's all fabulous. They also have a great generic coach education program, as Scott talked about earlier. And what we're adding to that with some specifics that are judo specific that are excellent. These guys come up with a great program. So that being said, contact Scott Decker or James Wall about this program. Okay, let's talk about what's going to happen now. John Saylor did 2 great clinics. And again, John's one of my best friends in the world. He's like a brother to me, so everybody knows that. And I have him come in every year to Kansas City, and I said, hey, John, this year I want you to come into JudoCon, because there are a lot of judo guys that haven't worked with you. You know, he does a lot of jiu-jitsu, mixed martial arts training, combatives. He does a lot of things these days in his Shingitai organization. But he is a wizard of judo. I mean, the guy really knows his stuff. He had a great success rate of champions out at the Olympic Training Center when he coached there. on the world-class level, by the way. So he knows how to train. He knows what to do. So we didn't get enough of John Saylor. He could have filled up the whole day of training, but he did 2 great clinics. And I'm just going to show a clip, just slightly under 6 minutes. It's worth it, though, of grip fighting strategies. And his focus on this particular session, and this aspect in this particular session of his work, was the percentages should be in your favor. And he talked about how to use the type of grips, to use the type of movement, work on the type of techniques, and build a system around your main technique, and how to add to that system. What if your opponent does this, he does that? He explains it so well. So let's let John Saylor talk about that right now on grip fighting strategies, and the percentages should be in your favor.
Like, I'm going to hook my right foot first and hop a circle. So when I do that, this back foot, you want your legs to be loose. Back foot comes in, and then I hop the circle. And the whole time I'm hopping that circle, I'm trying to reap. And that helps pull me around the circle. Now that's relatively safe if you've got control here of this hand, however it may be. You got this grip. Now, once I have that, the Osoto is more in my favor. I won't attack Osoto if he has a power hand grip, either on the lapel or the collar. Because to do so, it's 50-50. He can do some Sambo stuff, or he can just throw me Osoto. Because, he's got his power hand too. And you guys need to start thinking in terms of percentages. If I kill his power hand, then it's 80-20 my favor. Those are the percentages I want to make an attack. So right now, I feel fairly good to hop. I feel like I'm going to win that encounter because I killed this. All right? That being said, that's Osoto. Make sure you kill the power hand. All right? Now, let's say when I go to do my Osoto, he steps back. Okay, I have choices. Ochi is a good one. All right? Again, I killed the power hand. He steps back. I like to do Sasai. Okay? I love Sasai. Steve Scott, my dear friend, has taught a lot of Uchimata. So I look, but he steps wide. This is the time for Uchimata right there. All right? I'm just giving an overview. I know this is way too much if you're just starting out to absorb. I'm trying to give you the overview because there's only 10 minutes left, 12 minutes, something like that. So I get into Osoto, I hop, but I can't get it. And he starts to raise out of it. No. Try to raise that leg up, and I'm going to clip the back leg. So I get to Osoto, I get to here. I got to slow down that spot. I get to here, he starts to lift out. I want to look right there. That's a slam. And it requires total commitment and total angle of attack to lead into that, total commitment into that throw. Which of those do you guys already do? Many of these. Are you thinking of it? What I do is I take my notebook paper and I put Osoto in the middle of a circle right here. And then I have an arrow going off to, something to this side, to Ochi. Then I have Sasai, an arrow going off to this direction, that's Sasai. I also do Osoto to Hiraigoshi, to this corner. Here, he pushes in, I turn, make it Hirai. All right? That's a good technique. All of this. So it ends up looking like a diagram of an atom or something. Oh, I don't know what an atom diagram is. Sounded good, I can't gas and grilling this bathroom bullshit. But anyway, so that's how you think about it. He has an 80-20 rule. 80% of your training time, he felt, should be to develop your favorite technique, rear and forward. In this case, Osoto guard. 80% of your rear throw practice should be devoted to Osoto, developing a strong Osoto with drills, streaming and uchi komis, supplemental exercises, all kinds of things to develop the rear toe. The remaining 20% was to develop a small series of supporting techniques around it for when your opponent has scouted you or he's just good and he blocks your favorite technique. And then we move to, so Hosoto's the number 1 technique. Ochi might be number 2, Sasai number 3, Harai, and so on. We move to when he stops the number 1, the Hosoto, we move to the 2, the 3, the 4. Just like a boxer moves from jab across to hook to uppercut, they don't all just go out and jab a guy down or throw a straight right, It's suicidal. You need more than one punch to use the combination. So let's try it. Let's get our Hosoto. We only got a few more minutes stand-up work. So I want to send you home with the same idea to the front. But we're not going to have time to do the front, I don't believe. But get your partner. We don't really need the crash pads for this. Have your opponent, this is the main key in practicing, have your opponent give you realistic reactions. So if you're coming in Hosoto, I don't just stand there, I react like I do. Here he comes, Hosoto. Or I push into him. He might turn it into a forward throw. Or I step back and I hit Ochi, Sasai, whatever. But he's not going to do any of that if I'm, as a training partner, I'm just standing here. Nobody stands here like this in a fight. In a judo fight, nobody. Any kind of fight. Okay? Partner up. 1, 2, 3.
All right, I can't add anything to that. I just wish I had more video of John to show you here, but the show would be 2 hours. It's probably long enough as it is now. But keep watching on both my YouTube channel as well as all of our Facebook platforms. We're going to be having a lot more of John on a lot of his stuff he does. Speaking about my YouTube channel, it's almost well over 13,500, well, almost 14,000 people. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. We use that as one of our tools in our overall development program with what we're doing to help for training, technical information, all kinds of stuff. So please subscribe. It's free. We'd love to have you. Okay, let's look now at the last thing I want to talk about. Okay, so don't tune out yet, please, because I want to talk with you about something about what we were doing at JudoCon. I want to shamelessly plug my book, Teaching on the Mat. So let's get that right up there now. All right, so that was Teaching on the Mat, the cover of it. It is a short book. It's 18 separate subjects that I wrote. It's kind of a follow-up from Coaching on the Mat, one of my very first books about 20 years ago. And it is about teaching effectively, not just judo. Could be jiu-jitsu, could be sambo, any type of combative sport or whatever. But it focuses on judo. But it is a good tool for coaches. And we had that available at a very cheap rate for the guys who showed up at the JudoCon, all the guys and gals, and that was one of the things that was available there. We do have it on our online bookstore, as you can see behind me here, and you can order it from that. But it's called Teaching on the Mat, and I really think since this video today is about the JudoCon, about coaching and teaching a lot, I think that would be a really good book for you to get. I'm not just doing it to get rich or famous, because I get neither. It is a great book, and I'm not saying that I'm bragging about it, but we've had a lot of good reviews by people, and it is a very handy, practical book. So if you want a book on some great ideas on coaching, get Teaching on the Mat. Okay, well, you know what? I've droned on long enough. You're probably tired of seeing my face, so you know what? I totally agree. So, hey, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you next time.